All right, what's up? Gonna take a look at The Subway by Chappell Roan. Really nice tune. It's definitely got me nostalgic, kind of like a Travis tune or a Keen song. But as far as learning it, it's really not too bad. There's kind of 3 short sections and a little bonus intro there. I'm trying to modify this for those of you that just have a piano at home. Just trying to adapt it for you a little bit. So I'm going to straddle that line between moving it to piano for you so you can play along with the record, but also playing it by yourself. So I'm kind of adapting some of those acoustic parts, right? But let's take a look at that intro. We're in B flat major. Okay, and it's just a triad 5-3-1, right? So here's our intro. Twice. We jump up to a C minor, and then F. And that's it. And then you're into the verse. All right, so you can add bass to that intro, by the way, if you want. That's it for the intro. For the verse, again, starting on the same chord, B flat major. Coolest part about this chord progression to me is the second chord. So we hit that, then we go up to the G. So it's a B flat over G. So the right hand stays the same, but the bass changes. Super nice chord. And then we've got a C. Oh, actually, I guess it's kind of an E flat 2 over a C. So it's kind of a 4/2, but it's got that 7. No, that's not a 7. That's a 2. The 7 comes here. Sorry, getting caught in theory land. Let me back up 1 second. So first chord, B flat. Second chord, B flat over G. Third chord, you're here. So this E flat 2 over the C. And then we're to the 5. So the F7. So really nice. Kind of not too bad on that right hand. Just 3-note triads the whole time. If you're playing along with the record, I would kind of keep it whole notes like that. If you're playing by yourself, you can kind of mimic that bass line to where you're kind of hopping like 2 and 3 notes at a time. Walk it down to that F. Okay? But that's your verse. Really not too bad. And now we're into the chorus. So, E flat 2. And you can play octaves or single notes in the bass on that left hand. Just ride that twice. Go back to the root, B flat, and then to F. But I want to keep that top note like those acoustics are kind of riding that, keeping that those open strings going. So I'm mimicking that in the piano. So one more time on that chorus. That's it. The song's really pretty easy. And then this bridge, we go to a 4. Okay, this E flat. Same chord as the E flat, but we're doing this inversion. So it's a 4 chord, it's major, then we make it minor. So we drop that 3rd. Okay, and then this simple triad. And if you want to fancy it up a little, you can add this this D in there for the first one, but not the second one. Okay, last time for that bridge. I lied, 2 more times. That's it. And then that outro is just the same verse pattern, right? And you have all those pretty strings going on and guitars, but if it's just piano, that's it. It's really pretty simple, but I also wanted to give you guys a look at the acoustic and bass, so let's grab this bass and check that part out. All right, so the bass, it's really pretty straight ahead. There's one or two little optional things, but I'm just gonna play it for you real quick. This is on B flat, it's fret 6 on your E string, right? To the 6. Okay, that was it. So that's your verse, that's your main pattern. So that'll be like your intro, your main riff, the chorus will change a little bit, but this is most of the tune. So that's your root, you hop 3 times, then you do like a little slide if you want, you don't have to. But this is the 5 and I'm going up to the 6, okay? 2 hops, and then we come down to the 5 once, and then to the 2, again 2 hops, back to the 5. And you stay on that 5, no hops. Most of the time it finishes with like a 4, and depending on where you're going, back to the 1, or it does like a little hop down to the 3 real quick. If you're like 1, 2, 3, ba-da-da. Okay, so that's essentially the main riff. The chorus, so actually the one little optional thing, so when you go to that 6, it only happens a few times in the tune, but it's a really nice little spicy thing. Okay, so that's when you're on your 6. Hit it twice, 2 hops, hop, and then you can hammer on or you can pluck it. Okay, back to the 2. That's it. That's the little spicy thing. Then when we go to the chorus, we're gonna land on that 4. Okay, on that E flat. This whole chorus is basically just 3 hops, like in between every note. So here it is, 1, 2, 3, twice on this E flat. Okay, to the root, and then to the 5. That's it. That's your bass. Let's get you on guitar. So guitar is kind of straight ahead. There's a couple tricky things on it. First we can look at that intro. That intro riff, you want to play it on acoustic. You basically make an A chord. That's it. Let me scoot so you can see me. So 1, 2, 3. So if you have your A shape, right? I'm using the 3 fingers. String 1, string 2, string 3. And you just figure out the pattern of it. And we're going to jump up to this B minor shape. Okay, and then you can leave your bottom 2 strings open while you shift down. That's it. So that's your little intro riff. Now this, basically an A major chord, but I would use 1 finger because you're going to have to do other stuff. So, and the strumming pattern is kind of like, it's a lot of ups. So kind of like down, up, and then a bunch of ups. And basically it's more staccato on the verses and more legato on the choruses, right? So, but the choruses also, they still have like some bounciness to them. So we take that A, right? And we add this pinky right there, a whole step up on that D string. So that's chord 2. Chord 3, you're doing this. And you want to keep that open E on the bottom. This is basically like a, well, what is it? It's confusing me with the capo. I forgot to mention we're on capo 1, but you probably saw that. So that's chord 3. This is chord 4, which is E7. This is some sort of like B7, E major 7. I think that's what that is. But those are your 4 chords. That's it for the main riff. Now we go to the chorus. We're going to do a D2, which is basically a D shape, but with that, we're leaving that high E open a bunch, okay? Stay there twice. Back to this A. Okay, that's it. That's your chorus. So D2 happens twice, your A, and then your E7. Now when we drop to that bridge part, we get quiet, it's kind of nice. You're basically doing, I'm not hitting my high E until the very last chord, okay? So this is your shape on this sort of F sharp, if you pretend that's F sharp. Walk it down, and then you do a regular A, and that's when I hit my high E. So you're basically doing, does that make sense? And if you want to get spicy, you can add this pinky on like the first or second chord, maybe the second. That's it. That's the tune. Hope you enjoyed it. It's really fun to play along to, like I said. Super nostalgic vibes. I dig it. Thanks for coming around. See you next time. Peace.